Hello everyone, this is Zach Haynes. This is my biggest challenge video. With this biggest challenge, I was looking at it through the lens of myself currently as a third year math educator and also a potential administrator, a potential technology leader, and instructional coach. So kind of taking everybody's viewpoints in order to look at this biggest challenge and see if I could figure out any solutions and overcoming it. The biggest challenge that I would face now and in the future is creating staff-wide buy-in that creates the environment that expects effective technological use in the classroom, um, which is the standard. Create a shared vision and culture for using technology to learn and accelerate transformation through the coaching process. Um, right now, I think that the biggest thing that I see with is that there's some people who want to use technology this way. There's some people who want to do it this way. There's that group of teachers that don't want to use it at all. And I think if you're going to try to get change and try to create a culture of the goals that you believe in, you have to figure out how to get everybody on board. And so some of the staff feelings that I'm trying to take into account are right now some teachers are seeing technology as optional. We are one to one, our entire district, Chromebooks, MacBooks. So our district has put those resources in front of us. And I don't think that every teacher is viewing them as mandatory, something that students can learn from. And I think it's on everybody. A lack of training, a lack of motivation by teachers, and I think that lack of motivation comes from, well, this is how I've always done it, and I think that's the worst saying you can have in any part of your life. Doesn't matter what your profession is. If you're not willing to change, then you're not willing to learn, and you're not willing to grow. And I think some educators just view technology as just another hoop to jump through that they've had to jump through in their educational career. When you have those more experienced teachers, they've had to endure a lot, and I think some of them just view it as just one more thing to do. And then I think you have those people who aren't trained properly, and they're using technology as a substitute for paper pencil, whether that's putting a PDF of a homework assignment that they were going to print off. And I get it; it's really easy, and I'm not saying I've never done it, but we have to take this information, or personally, I have to take this information that I've learned and try to spread it and um, show them how to effectively use technology. And then you have the teachers, and each one of those groups probably has the teachers that think that the district has given us too many tools to use. So now we have all this stuff, and then we got to go to these trainings, and we're probably never going to use these trainings. We're going to do this training once, and it's not going to affect us. So that leads into the next problem of not enough time to master tools. And then just kind of my last personal view is that I think all of this combined has led to teachers not being prepared for our current situation of the COVID and the continuous learning plan and the online learning right now. I think with better professional development and better training, we should have been prepared for this in my district. But it seems like there's a lot of teachers who have been struggling in this past couple weeks getting everything online when um, we had the resources to already be there. Okay, so some of my solutions that going back to this challenge of creating a staff-wide buy-in to using technology. I think the first thing is if I'm in the leadership role, then I'm going to try to create a technology team that is able to analyze the current state of technology in the school, so we can look at what technology is being used and where do we need to improve that. And I think this team, if you have this goal, but you're the only one and you're standing up there teaching or presenting to everybody, you're not going to reach very many people. But if you can create like a task force, if you can create a group that is passionate about the same interest than you are, I think you have a better chance of spreading that passion to others. And then we can ask each department, what essential technology tools are you using that you've had success with. Once we have that information, we can compile data on all the technology that's being used and see what is the most used technology. What are we already good at? And let's narrow the technology down, and let's really try to emphasize on 10 different tools. Depending on the building, it could be 5. Depending on the building, it could be 15 different tools. Then you have this list of different technology tools that's going to be emphasized over the course of the year, and you're gonna that culture, that environment is going to push teachers to focus on 3 or 4. So, which goes to and this will be done during like in-service, late start, and after-school trainings. And then you have the option to just get like the basic entry level or to go more in depth with these trainings. But I believe that if teachers get to have a say in what they're learning in, it's going to create an interest, it's going to create engagement, it's going to create a willingness to take this into their classroom with them and not just sitting there in that presentation and then forgetting everything when you're leaving. So, just like we give our students the option of controlling what they're learning at some point, we have to give teachers. I think we've all been in trainings that if I'm sitting there and I know 100% I'm not going to use this technology tool, then I'm not getting anything out of it. And maybe that's just my fixed mindset. Um, but I think there have been times where there's just not a feasible way that I'm going to use this. So if I'm an educator and I have a list of 10 things and a description of them, then I think I'm more willing to jump into this world of technology, and I can really focus on 3 different types of technology tools and try to learn a little bit more about them instead of just getting a crash course on each one of these 10 and then saying, okay, here you go, take it or leave it. So if I'm passionate, if I'm interested in what I'm going to learn about, then I'm well on my way. And I think going back to the technology team, if you have those 10 different tools and you assign a teacher for each one of those tools to become an expert in and to teach everybody, that's a lot better than having just one person talk each time. So using the different using different people and different strengths to create uh, that menu, and then each teacher can kind of pick and choose what they see that they can use in their classroom. So some of going back to this last part, but I believe that these solutions would be to help me get on track with creating an environment that's excited about bringing technology tools into the classroom while providing the training to give teachers the confidence to use this technology. Some of the other IST standards that I looked at for this would be cultivating a supportive coaching culture. That would be like the technology team that's going to encourage other educators and leaders to achieve that vision that the technology team has created and the goals that come with it. I think another one would be recognizing educators across your organization who use technology effectively. I think like in a district of my size, we have 10 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 1 high school. There's a ton of great teachers using a bunch of different technology. If we can, in that menu of 10, if we can find guest speakers to show other ways that they're be using, even if it's in an elementary class, even if it's in a health class at the high school, just showing the different capabilities of these technologies, I think that creates more excitement as well. And then lastly is just the same thing, but connecting leaders and educators, instructional support, technical support, domain experts, and solution providers to maximize the potential of technology for learning. And this last one is essentially what I would consider a team. Getting everybody on the same team, getting everybody the shared vision, getting everybody excited about what we're trying to do, and putting our head down and focusing on solving the challenge of creating buy-in, creating a culture that wants to effectively integrate technology in the classroom. Thank you for watching.